When you begin working with the Roscoe Road Maintenance Trailer, or RMT, there's several things you need to remember. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the most important information needed to safely operate this machine. Now, keep in mind, this video is not a complete training tool. It's simply meant as a review of the equipment's components, operation, and maintenance. To thoroughly understand the RMT, study the manual provided with each unit. It's written and organized in a way that's easy to read or to use as a reference guide. If you have questions at any time during this presentation, please stop the tape and ask your training supervisor. First, let's take a look at the components of the RMT, beginning with the tank. This tank is a 1,000-gallon insulated tank for holding hot bituminous asphalt material. This ladder gets you to the tank opening on top. The strainer basket is in the top opening, here. The asphalt material goes in the top opening fill hole. The dipstick stored inside the tank overflow tube lets you check how much material is inside. Here at the front of the tank on the driver's side are the temperature thermometers. Two are included with each unit, the pencil thermometer and the adjustable dial thermometer. The solvent tank mounted on the front left side of the frame supplies solvent for internal cleanout and external cleaning. A fuel tank on the front right side of the frame replaces the propane tank on units outfitted with diesel burners. The hydraulic reservoir tank is located in front of the bitumen tank. It supplies oil to the hydraulic drive system. The level indicator is located here on the side of the tank. The cleanout is also located here. The hydraulic pump is located here at the rear of the engine. Here's the hydraulic filter located at the front of the unit. The driver's side toolbox provides storage for the nozzle wrench, valves, grease gun. The handheld spray gun is mounted above the toolbox. It's used to cover surfaces the spray bar can't reach. You have 25 feet of hose to work with. This is the load line and the transfer line that loads and unloads the asphalt between the tank and another container. Most of the action on the RMT happens here at the back of the tank. It's important to understand these components and their functions in the distribution of liquid asphalt materials. Everything here is connected to the portable control box in the truck cab. The operator controls all spray bar functions from up there. Now let's take a look at the burners. They heat the material in the tank with two different options for fuel. Some trailers are outfitted with propane burners. Other trailers have diesel burners that are kept under cover to protect the intake vents and fan. Right above the burners is the tank capacity indicator. It'll tell you how much material is inside the tank. The exhaust stack directs the burner exhaust up and away from the unit. The Viking asphalt pump is the heart of the RMT. The asphalt pump performs all the loading, unloading, circulating, cleaning, transferring, reverse suction processing, and spraying functions. Next to the pump is the hydraulic motor. It's a fixed displacement motor that turns the asphalt pump. Here are the three air-operated valves that are operated from the cab control box to control the spraying and circulation of the asphalt. Now, take a look at the spray bar. It's 14 feet long with folding wings on either side that are raised and lowered manually to control spray width. This unit is equipped with the optional electric spray bar lift, which allows the operator to adjust the spray bar height from the cab control box. Spray nozzles distribute the material. The internal valve controls the flow of the material. These cylinders control the internal spray bar valves. The feed lines move material to and from the spray bar. This has been a quick review. We're going to talk in more detail later about the proper operating procedures of the RMT. Let's take a look at the safety decals that are required for the RMT. Each decal contains important reminders about the safe operation of the RMT asphalt distributor. Safety decals must be kept clean and legible. Replace decals and signs that are missing or unreadable. And don't forget to install new decals when you replace parts that require them. Safety decals or signs are available from your authorized dealer. Please carefully follow instructions when installing new decals. Now, let's take a look at the front of the tank. Two important notices are mounted on the front left side of the tank. One is the general caution decal. Once again, it reminds you to read the operations manual and follow safe operating procedures. The other decal is in this location, and it warns of fire hazards. At the back of the tank, you will find three different safety decals. These are located on both the right and left sides of the tank. Here, you will find two warning decals. One is the hot materials hazard. The other is the hot surface hazard. You'll also find the explosion hazard decal in this location. The back left side of the tank will also include a different decal depending on the type of burner furnished with the unit. Regardless of the decal on your unit, it will list safety instructions for that particular type of burner, either diesel or propane. It makes no difference how many times you operate the RMT. Safety must be your first concern at all times. We recommend you carefully read this manual and review the areas which spell out the procedures for safe operation. Always keep in mind that asphalt products are hazardous materials. We advise following supplier recommendations for their safe handling. Always wear protective clothing when working around these materials. Proper clothing includes thick gloves and a protective face shield. To determine the correct asphalt compounds, emulsions, or cutbacks for your situation, we recommend you consult your local supplier and refer to the national standards for these materials. Now, let's take a look at the control boxes used to operate the Rosco RMT. The engine control box is located here on the trailer frame next to the engine. The engine control box contains the engine ignition switch, one of the engine speed controls, and the indicator lights for low oil pressure and high water temperature. Units with a diesel engine will also have a charge indicator. The in-cab controller box is the operations center for the RMT. The in-cab controller box is capable of being conveniently located in the cab of the towing vehicle. Its job is to monitor and control the operation of the RMT. Let's review the components and functions of the in-cab controller box. This is the system master switch. It must be in the on position before the machine can operate. The LED display screen displays the pump speed in gallons per minute, or GPM. Mode selection controls the functions of the asphalt distributor. By turning the selector dial, you can select the following functions: Cleanout, reverse suction, unload, hand spray, transfer, load, tank circulate, spray or Spraybar circulate. Spraybar master is the main control for the Spraybar. When this is on, all Spraybar segments will spray, unless the individual valve actuators on the Spraybar are disengaged. The Spraybar master switch has two positions: Spraybar circulate and spray. The engine speed control allows the operator to vary the engine RPM, which controls the gallons per minute, or GPM, of the asphalt pump. Some units will also have this optional electric Spraybar lift switch. The switch will raise or lower the Spraybar. Now, let's go back and take a closer look at the rear controller. The engine speed control adjusts the engine RPM, which in turn adjusts the gallons per minute generated by the asphalt pump. The GPM will be displayed on the in-cab control box. The pump control valve controls the asphalt pump direction, either forward, neutral, or reverse. The washdown switch activates the optional external washdown system. Now, let's take a look at the nozzles on the Spraybar. Choosing the right nozzle size will depend on three variables: the application rate, towing speed, and the type of material being sprayed. The recommended working nozzle angle is 20 degrees. This is set at the factory. When you change nozzles or make adjustments, use the Rosco nozzle wrench and the adjustment tool for accurate positioning. These tools are provided with each RMT. Specific instructions for making those adjustments are included in your operating manual. As you operate the Rosco RMT for the first few times, we have some recommendations for breaking in the equipment. First, and most importantly, we recommend you read the operations manual and safety decals before you begin any work. The operations manual for the RMT includes a specific checklist for breaking in the unit. It should be followed after 2 hours of use, then again after 8 hours and 16 hours of operation. Then you'll be ready to follow the routine maintenance procedures described in your manual. Every time you get ready to use the RMT, we recommend you follow the pre-operations checklist as described in your manual. Please refer to your manual for the complete list. Start with a visual inspection. Look at the tank tie downs. Tighten them if necessary. Check for and straighten loose fasteners and hardware on the machine and spray bar. Check for any loose components. Tighten or secure as needed. Look at all hydraulic lines, air lines, couplers, fittings, and connections. Take care of any that are loose or damaged. Then, take a few minutes to perform basic service and maintenance. Lubricate the asphalt pump bearings. Then, you need to check all fluid levels in the hydraulic tank, solvent tank, and burner fuel tank. Fill as needed. Then, check for leaks and get them repaired before beginning work. The next point in the pre-operations checklist is the spray bar inspection. Check for loose fasteners and hardware on the machine and spray bar. Look at the air lines, couplers, fittings, and connections. Take care of any that are loose or damaged. Then check the angle of the spray bar valves and the angle of each nozzle. Last on the pre-operations checklist is the functional check. Follow your operations manual to ensure this is done properly. Make sure there is no material in the tank. You will also want to check the hydraulic circuit. Be careful not to run the asphalt pump for very long without material in the system. Component damage could occur. You'll perform these tests with the engine at low idle and the control box master on. Follow the individual testing instructions found in the operations manual. Finally, you'll need to run some tests on the automatic valve system. Again, follow the steps spelled out in your manual. Well, now you're ready to put the asphalt distributor to work. The Rosco RMT is the most important piece of equipment on a road surface treatment project. It's made specifically to apply liquid asphalt products uniformly and in specified quantities. Be sure to read the operations manual sections which describe the proper use and care of the RMT and its components. As the operator, it's important for you to understand how this equipment functions. There are two different ways you can load the tank: bottom loading or through the tank's top opening. Either way, you must wear protective clothing, including heavy protective gloves and a face shield. Do not smoke during this or any other procedure with the RMT. Before beginning the process, follow the pre-operations checklist found in your manual. Then, move the RMT to the storage tank or transfer vehicle. Check to make sure there is no water or condensation in the bottom of the tank. Remove the water before loading. To remove water or condensation, make sure the engine is off, the controls are in neutral, and you've taken the key out of the ignition. Check to make sure the tank is empty and cool. It's best to do this at the beginning of the day. If you have to do it after the machine has been operating, wait for it to cool down before following this procedure. First, remove the plug in the bottom of the sump. The water will drain out. Then, reach in the plug hole to remove any debris or trash from the sump or tank. Now you can install and tighten the plug. With the tank clear of water or condensation, we'll demonstrate the bottom loading procedures first. Set the in-cab controller mode selection switch to load. The spray bar master switch should be in the bar circulate position. The pump control valve on the rear controller should be in the forward position. The right side and left sidebar valves located here at the rear of the unit should be in the off position. When you're loading material, use the rear engine speed control to run the pump slowly in the forward direction to provide suction to the load line. Slowly open the vent valve on the load line. If you don't hear the sound of the vacuum relief, do not remove the cap. Check that the pump is turning in the forward direction and the vent valve is open. Some residue asphalt may be left in the line. Be sure you don't get it on yourself. Now, remove the load line cap. Connect the loading hose and latch the coupler in place. Close the vent valve before loading. Connect the hose to the tanker or storage tank. Then, open the valve to the storage tank. Use the rear controller to run the asphalt pump in the forward position at 70 to 150 GPM. Fill until the tank is 80 to 90% full. When you reach this point, slow the pump speed to 65 or 75 GPM so it provides suction to the line. Close the valve at the storage or transfer tank to stop the flow. Open the vent at the storage tank to allow the pump to clear the load line. Now, open the small vent on the load line to allow the pump to draw material out of the RMT load line. Disconnect the loading hose. Replace the cap. Secure the latches. Close the small vent valve. Beware of hot asphalt